Greetings of peace, love, and harmony. I am Mandy Samosi, also known as Onshubanke. I have a lot of names, but those two are my most my most well-known names. Excuse my tarot deck back there, but today's video, I want to talk about how to connect with the river, Osun. And Osun is the river, like the literal river. I think a lot of times when we talk about Ifa, when we talk about the Orisha, we do not realize or have not internalized that we're talking about nature spirits. We see these humanized pictures of them, and because the stories that we hear about them in the Odu, they talk about how they lived as humans and when they got transformed into Orisha, etc., etc. And we have not internalized that they are now nature, a part of nature. Osun is the river. Okay? Osun is the river. She's sweet waters. And in my tradition, just so you know, I practice the lineage that comes from Nigeria. So it's most commonly known as Isheshe Legba. But yeah, I practice Isheshe. The lineage that comes from Nigeria, so there are many river deities. Oya is also part of the river, a river deity. Yes, wind, transformation, all that good jazz. Yemoja is the river as well in Isheshe. I'm not going to get into this whole thing about like right, wrong, difference. Everything is just different. And this isn't a channel, or we're not talking about Yemoja or Oya right now, but known as maybe Yemaya in the diaspora. We're talking about Osun. So let's get into it. Osun is the river. How many times am I going to say that? I'm doing that for reasons, because I feel like most people go to the river. Again, we hear about the human stories. We see these human artwork of Osun as this lady by the river, dressed in all yellow, scantily clad by the river. Some deity who's sitting by the river. She is the river. Osun is the river. Okay? She is the river. Yeah. So, these lessons I'm also going to teach you today is just like how you can connect with Osun, the river. If you don't have a teacher, if you're not initiated, these are ways that you can go there and still be respectful and protected, because there are many spirits in this world, and there are a lot of spirits that live at the river, and not all of them are Osun. Okay? So first and foremost, when it comes to spiritual hygiene in Isheshe, there is a hierarchy, if you will. Olodumare comes first. God, owner of the heavens, comes first. Your Ori, your head, your highest self. Most people, the best way I can talk about it in Western terms is crown chakra. Your Ori, your head, your personal deity that nobody else is praised to, and you praise nobody else's Ori, is your second in command. So God, owner of the heavens, Ori, your ancestors who guide you to the path of your destiny. Ori is your destiny. Guides you to your path of your destiny. So guides you to having a good relationship with your head, your Ori, your destiny. Belly button too. If you know, you know. I have to do another thing on Ori, I'm sorry. But anyway, back to Osun. After Ori, ancestors, then after the ancestors, then it's the Orisha. You have to have a relationship with those three, God, Ori, ancestors, before you go to the Orisha. Your ancestors guide you and protect you. If you go to the river, you mispronouncing things, Oshun, Ashun, blah, 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 you may have accidentally called up another spirit. Your ancestors are your gatekeepers. They're going to protect you. They know, they're guiding you. If you were led on that river righteously by your people and you were supposed to be there and you just didn't watch something on TikTok or this video and was like, I'm going to go there, connect with your people first. Connect with yourself first, your highest self first. Connect with God first, okay? I get really tired of seeing people in this tradition who bypass the foundational relationships just to go to the Orisha. I get it. It's sexy. Everybody loves to say that I know this, I know that, I know this and this and this and that. But do you know yourself? Know you first before you ever try to get to know Oshun or any other Orisha. Okay? Okay. So, let's get into it. If you don't have a teacher, remember God or ancestors. They're going to lead you. And if they're leading you right and righteously, they're going to eventually lead you to your teacher within this tradition. You might not, your path might not go to Nigeria. It may be Lukumi. It may be Santeria. I can't really roll my R's, so please do not judge me. I'm doing my best, okay? So, I've also seen people try to give water as an offering to Oshun. She is the water. She is river water. So that is not an offering to give to her because she is that. Do you understand? Okay. So in my tradition, to even go to Oshun, women might be triggered. I'm just a messenger. But I cannot go to Oshun with pants on. If I'm going to the river and I want to meet Oshun, I want to talk to Oshun, as a woman, I need to have my lapa or I need to come there with already a dress on. Me, in my lineage. Just saying. Also, no cursing. If you're at Oshun Shrine, specifically, or even at the river, talking about them, you're praying to Oshun, with what mouth? Do not curse. With Oshun, how are you treating women? How are you treating children? These are all questions that you have to ask for, because, again, we can externalize these relationships, but these are meant to be internalized. The river, most people naturally feel like going to the river to get guidance or to get clarity, to self-reflect. Oshun helps with that. That is Oshun work. She helps with deep internal self-reflection. She helps us do that. So if we're trying to go to the river and we're like, oh my God, I want to self-reflect, I want to do this, I want to do that, we won't help with that. We want to call on Oshun. Maybe you forgot your honey. Maybe you forgot some other things. Remember that your presence in itself can be an offering if you're there righteously, if you're there holy and honestly. So don't be there on your phone scrolling, or don't be there just kicking and kicking it. If it's your communion time that you're actively doing with Oshun, your presence, you have a voice, you can dance, move your body, sing, dance. Like, I used to go to Oshun. I had a stint in my journey where I went to the river every single day. I went to Oshun every day for years. I did not miss a day. Rain, the river was overflowing, it did not matter. And that is why, just a shameless plug really quick, then I get back to the lesson. That's why I'm going to be doing a podcast here every single week, every single Friday. There will be a podcast. In my lineage, she's not worship on Friday. Unless Ojo Awo falls on Friday. There's a calendar that we go by that is different in Isheshe than it is in Santeria or Lukumi. But yeah, I'm just going to drop it every Friday because it just works best for my schedule. And I'm going to be talking about the lessons I learned from the river. So things that Oshun is associated with that we tend to bypass as practitioners because we're just so focused on make sure I get the offerings and make sure I do this and make sure I do that. Okay, but Oshun is also about accountability, self-love, like honesty, those like even some sort of codependent relationships you can help us with. Yonja too though with that one. But that is some things that I'm going to be sharing with y'all. So Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, put your notification bells on, because I go deep when it comes to Orisha work. My journey forced me to internalize the relationships as opposed to externalize them. And I'm grateful for that, because if it didn't, I would have been like a lot of other people who were just like, let me go to my shrine, let me go to the river, instead of being like, I can access Oshun right within me, because I now have the ability to do womb work. I now have the ability to do deep self-reflection in motion, like all those things in motion. And she works fast in me too. So I'm grateful for those things, right? Those are Ashe building things that I'm about to break down here. And it doesn't involve the theatrics that many people associate this tradition with having. So if you want to learn more, journey with me, like, comment, subscribe, notification bell, please. We're going to have fun. It's going to be fun, I promise you. So back to this river thing. Bells for offerings. Honey. Taste the honey first, then give. There are just some things that we can do. Just remember those, they're nature spirits. So when you practice any indigenous practice, be it Afro-Indigenous, native to this land in America, whatever indigenous practice, just know, because it's going to be deeply rooted in nature, you need to be part environmentalist, which means you need to make sure you're taking care of the earth. Don't give things that cannot biodegrade. Don't put things in that river that cannot biodegrade. Okay? So you're putting honey, you're opening it up, you're putting honey. You're not throwing the whole honey thing in there. I've seen things, y'all. You're not going there lighting candles and just leaving the candles there. Like, I've seen, why do you have a candle at Osun? It's not like you're in your home and you have to do all this work to invoke Osun. You're at the river. She is the river. You do not need a candle there. I'm about to make a lot of people mad, but I've seen things. And it's disgusted me on my journey. And I know, again, I'm going to make some people mad. I'm sorry. In fact, I don't apologize for that, because we need to really understand what it means to practice this tradition in from a respectful standpoint, meaning be respectful of nature, meaning my desires, what I want from this river spirit, this deity, is not more important than protecting and respecting this river deity. And a lot of times people give offerings in that way. So you give offerings that are not biodegrading, you're basically saying that I don't care how you're treated. Just give me what I came here for. That's what it's like when I see you give oranges and it still has the plastic stuff on it. Take it off. Take those stickers off. Take it off. Like, if it does not biodegrade, do not offer it in nature. Again, fully present. So you're not just going there, praying over your stuff, or just making your prayers and leaving. You're going there, you're sitting, if it's able, because there are times where it's like, all I can do is go and greet the river. Like, because I've been there where it's raining, pouring down raining. All I can do is greet you today. I came here every day. I'm here. Or it's too cold. I'm here. I'm just greeting you. I gotta go back. But when there's times where the conditions aren't like that, and you can sit. So your presence is going to be much more potent than any external thing you can give, because that presence is what's going to allow you to internalize her, as opposed to bringing a bunch of stuff there, leaving it, and blah, 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 leaving. If you are initiated in her magic, her Ashe is in you, it can be different, but still it's very essential to develop the relationship. with the spirit. Self-love. There are a lot of different components of self-love that I'm going to talk about and break down when I'm doing the podcast. So make sure that y'all are tuned in for that, because Osun teaches the importance of reciprocity. For real, for real. Osun is not the Orisha you want to go to and say, I'm going to do this, and don't do it. Do not play yourself. She is sweet waters. But if you come there on some messy stuff, on some, I don't care about being accountable stuff, she's not going to be sweet to you. She just has no reason to bring her sweetness to you. So be wise with your character when you come to Osun. Another thing I'm going to talk about probably before I get to the podcast, but the river has many stages and phases. This will be the next thing that drops before the podcast. The river has many stages and phases, right? And when it comes to self-reflection, there are many times in which we need to reflect on ourselves and all the different many stages and phases that the river naturally shows us. So I'm going to break down those natural stages and phases in the next one. Again, I'm dropping these once a week, so like, comment, subscribe so you can stay tuned and not miss it. But yeah, these are some simple ways that you can connect with the river and embody who Osun is, and not just be transactional in your relationship with her. Not just use her name in vain the way y'all do Jesus. As always, thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. I look forward to getting to know y'all. Peace.